Hello, everyone. This is the WCVB 5 fan here, and it's time for week 4 of the NFL schedules of games and referees. So, let's start with the Thursday night football game. So, for Thursday night, it'll be between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, that'll be called by Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung. Yep. And you will be getting the game on these local stations. In the Cincinnati media market, you will get this game on WCPO ABC 9. And in Miami, you will get it on WSFL the CW 39. So now we're going to talk about Sunday. Before we talk about the doubleheaders, we have a London game to talk about, and that's going to be between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be called by Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez. Hang on a second, guys. All right. And Laura Oakman. Okay. Yeah, Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, and Laura Oakman. They'll have the call for that game. So I assume that game's going to be produced by Fox. I could be wrong, though. Anyway, I forgot to mention the referee. Going back to Thursday Night Football game, real quick. The referee for that game is, who is it? It is Trey Blake. And the referee for the Sunday morning, for the London football game for this week, that'll be Cleet Blakeman. So yeah, you will get the London game if you live on the following stations. For those of you that live in Minneapolis, that'll be in the Minneapolis-St. Paul media market. You will get that on KSTP ABC 5. In the New Orleans media market, that'll be on WWL CBS 4. Now let's talk about the Sunday afternoon games. For this week, CBS has the doubleheader. So we're going to start with their games. First off, we've got the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be called by Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn. And the referee for that game will be Jerome Boger. And that is the primary game of the week, as you probably know by now. Next up, the New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. That game will be called by Greg Gumbel, Adam Archuleta, and AJ Ross. The referee for that game will be Brad Rogers. Oh, and you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: Hartford, Connecticut; New York City, New York; Scranton, Pennsylvania; Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania; Charleston, West Virginia; Cincinnati, Ohio; and Lexington, Kentucky. Those are the ones I'm seeing right now. Next up, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. That game will be called by Andrew Catalon and James Lofton. And I'm not sure if there's an announcer for this game, but I'll look it up and see. I'm going to go check. No, there's not. Okay, good. I could be wrong, though. And the referee for this game will be Alex Kemp. And you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: Houston, Texas; Waco, Texas; Austin, Texas; San Antonio, Texas; Corpus Christi, Texas; Rio Grande Valley, Texas; Odessa, Texas; Lubbock, Texas; Waco Falls, Texas; Abilene, Texas; Los Angeles, California; San Diego, California; Bakersfield, California; Santa Barbara, California; and Eugene, Oregon. And, okay, so next up we've got is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. That game will be called by Sparrow Detus and Jay Feely. The referee for that game will be Sean Hockley. For those of you, and you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: Jacksonville, Florida; Philadelphia, Pennsylvania; Orlando, Florida; Savannah, Georgia; Tallahassee, Florida; Panama City, Florida; Mobile, Alabama. If I haven't said so, Savannah, Georgia. I think I've said that once, but I could be wrong, though. Philadelphia and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. last up in the early games on CBS, we've got the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons. You'll like this one. This will be called by a female announcer, and that's Beth Bowens along with Tiki Barber. The referee for that game will be Craig Rolstad. And you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: Montgomery, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, Galveston, South Carolina, Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, and Columbus, Ohio. That's it for the early games. Now let's talk about the late games. So the late game, the games in the late window will be the New England Patriots at the Green Bay Packers. That game will be called by Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson, and the referee for that game is Adrian Hill. And the majority of you will be getting this game, unless you are getting this next game, which will be the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. That game will be called by Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Evan Washburn. And the referee for that game is Land Clark. Yes, Land Clark. And you will get this game if you live in the following media markets. Pretty much anywhere in California, anywhere in Nevada, anywhere in Utah, anywhere in New Mexico, anywhere in Colorado, anywhere in Kansas, pretty much anywhere in Oklahoma. I could be wrong, though. Kansas City, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, anywhere in Nebraska, anywhere in Montana, anywhere in Wyoming, anywhere in Idaho, anywhere in Oregon, and anywhere in Washington. So that's it for the CBS late games. Now we are going to talk about the Fox games. Fox has single-header coverage. First up we've got is the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. That game will be called by Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olson, and Aaron Andrews. Tom Rinaldi, I believe, will be there as well. I could be wrong, though. That game will be, the referee for that game will be Sean Smith, and the majority of you is going to get that game. Next up, the Chicago Bears at the New York Giants. That game will be called by Joe Davis, Daryl Johnston, and Pam Oliver. And the referee for that game is Carl Cheffers. And you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: Bangor, Maine, Providence, Rhode Island, Springfield, Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut, Albany, New York, New York City, New York, Burlington, Vermont, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Syracuse, New York, Rochester, New York, I think. I'll have to look it up. If I could be wrong, though. Anyway. You also get it in South Bend, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Quad Cities, Illinois, anywhere in Iowa, anywhere in Nebraska, anywhere in South Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, anywhere in Minnesota, and anywhere in Wisconsin. So yeah, next up is the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. That game will be called by Chris Myers, Chris Myers, Robert Smith, and Jen Hale. And the referee for that game will be, who is the referee? It is Clay Martin. So, and you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: anywhere in Alaska, anywhere in Washington, anywhere in Oregon, anywhere in Idaho. Looks like Missoula, Montana is going to get it as well. Like anywhere in like the western part of Montana. It doesn't say like, I can't read the cities at all. Sorry about that. Probably Helena, Montana as well. Anyway, anywhere in Michigan, and Toledo, Ohio. So yeah. Next up we've got is the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Next up we've got, and that game we called by Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, and Christina Pink. The referee for that game will be Scott Novak. And you will get this game if you live in these media markets: Indianapolis, Indiana, Evansville, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, and Knoxville, Tennessee. Last up on Fox is the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. That is the 4:05 p.m. game in the East, and that game will be called by Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Shannon Spake. The referee for this game will be John Hussey. And you will get this game if you live in the following media markets: anywhere in Arizona, Houston, Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Galveston, any media market in South Carolina as well as North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, Buffalo, New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland, Ohio. So yeah, and before I leave, I'm going to talk about the Monday night game because that game's on ESPN. It'll be between the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Lisa Salters will have the call for that game. The referee for that game is Brad Allen. And in Los Angeles, you will get that game on KABC on Channel 7. And in San Francisco/Oakland, you will get it on KGO, also ABC 7 as well. So, yeah. So, thank you. And so, that'll do it for the NFL week 4 schedule and broadcasting and referee information. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next week when we talk about week 5.